everything we're doing tonight is based off of side control, but in order to get side control, we have to get past the guard, okay? We're gonna make sure that we have good heel contact with his hips right here. Keep our elbows in tight. One of the things about NoGi that a lot of people mess up on is it's really easy to attack. Since we don't have the grips of the gi, we have to grip wherever we can get grips at. One good grip is the shoulder, and one good grip is like the arm, Kimura type grip for like a hip up sweep, or if he was to come underneath, get control of the top of my shoulder, come in, clamp. That's a really good controlling point as well. And the only way he can get is to go on the inside. So I need to make sure that I keep my elbows to my ribs. I like to come in one foot in the center of the butt, 1 foot out, keep my feet together. I'll sit heavy and immediately pop a leg up. As soon as I feel the guard opening, I'll come into this combat base. Josh is gonna react and make sure I get my underhook, take my head in, make sure I use my head, get my base, pull up on the tricep so that I can slide out of the guard, and I can immediately have good pressure of both sides. There's no space right here for him to get the underhook. Also, I'm not back here. If I'm back here, then he can start to work and then move to get the underhook. So when I pass, I wanna make sure that I pass to his chest. I get up high, keep the underhook, and make sure that there's not a pocket in my armpit. Keeping good control under this shoulder right here so that he's not able to start building frames, okay? The one thing that also, since we don't have grips in the gi, what we need to do on the bottom defensively is to build frames so that I can't get on the inside. I'm already on the inside. If I let Josh build frames, arm across my neck, arm into my hip, then he can start to push me back. And then that can keep me away from his head, keep me away from his shoulders where I need to control. I've already got past his hips. Now I need to control his shoulders. So I'm gonna get here, put one knee down right here, and come in and make sure that I have good shoulder pressure on the side of his face, controlling here. Now the first submission we're gonna go for, which is gonna keep us very safe in a good position, is a north-south choke. I'm gonna reach across here, come in tight, making sure that I've got the arm trapped up in between my hip and his head. And I'm gonna reach up under near here, and I just go ahead and I tell people to grab the inside of their thigh, like grab the hamstring right there, because that'll let you know that you've got a good grip. This hand is gonna come around to the far hip, and then I'm gonna sprawl as I spin north-south. Go in for an S grip, weight down, and I get the submission right here. Making sure that I've got the arm pressed in here. I want to keep my hips low. I can get it, and I didn't even have the grip there, okay? I want to make sure that I go to S grip. Don't go here on your knees. A big mistake people make. Josh can get his shoulder back out, okay? And then I need to drop this hip. I don't need to stay here because this is holding weight up as well. Need to drop, make sure that I get my hips down. So we went into that choke from passing. So everything that we did tonight was all from the passing. Come in, underhook, get in, pass, up, control, okay? There was a couple of other things that we went over, but to just go go to my favorite and the final submission that we did today was I switched my hips, making sure that I get under the shoulder. I want to keep this shoulder off the mat. I'm going to come back, I'm going to catch this arm, I'm going to step across it. Now, Josh is not going to let this arm come over here because I can Americana it, I can get wrist locks, a lot of things I can do to this arm right here, head and arm choke. If I was to get the arm here, come in here, and then I could pass across for the head and arm choke. So Josh is gonna hide his arm up here, try to keep my pressure down. So I take my left leg, come across the top of his head, scoop it up right here. And now I cup his elbow. I come to my elbow, and then I just drop my head to the floor. Get this straight arm lock. If his arm comes out, like right here, now I can come into an Americana type position. If he straightens it out, then I can go into a straight arm lock. This right here. Some people will go into the triangle lock right here. You don't have a really good triangle here, guys, because this arm isn't getting crushed into his carotid, okay? And I really don't have a way. You know, I could reach back and like pull this arm, but that's silly because I've got so many good options on this arm right here. This is more so that I have his head out of alignment and out of control and under control. Like I said, it's uncomfortable. It's probably not the easiest position for him to like get good blood flow and to breathe from, but it's not like your typical guard triangle choke. And then I'll attack this arm from the different angles. I just use that triangle lock on the head simply for control. So focus on your passing, stay tight, pass low, pass with your head in. When you get to side control, you can be here. We can attack from here, going into this crucifix type position right here to where I've got the arm controlled. I can control this arm right here. You know, I could go up underneath here, switch, come around from my north-south choke, and then you can switch back and forth. The good thing about the north-south choke is if I go for it, and Josh doesn't tap, it allows me to immediately transition back to this safe spot. And there's no need in NoGi especially, because I don't have the Ezekiel, I don't have the cross collar. There's a lot of things that I don't have in NoGi, so there's really not a lot of need for me to go to the mount when I have so many options right in this area for submission from side control. So what I was telling my students tonight was focus on passing, because a lot of times if you're new, or it doesn't matter, as you advance, so does your opponents advance and your training partners advance. Passing the guard can be one of the hardest things that you'll ever do in jiu-jitsu, learning how to pass the guard and passing it efficiently. Learn how to pass the guard, focus on that. Beat the hips. When we beat the hips, let's get to side control. Focus on side control, focus on mastering, controlling this area right here, submitting from this area. And then once this kind of gets boring to you, if it ever does, I don't see how it would, but if it does, then you can proceed to the mount and then work from there. But NoGi, side control is going to be very, very, very advantageous for you. You see it in MMA, you see it, you know, self-defense aspects. I can trap this arm, I can come up, I can catch this right here. I've got punches, elbows, a lot of things that I can do from right here in self-defense. Whereas if I'm in the mount, then I've got to deal with him swinging back at me. I've got to deal with him bucking and stuff like that. Side control, I've got a lot of control, a lot of positions that I can work from this area right here and really make this area, which seems kind of small, you know. I mean, I just got the arms, I got the head right here, but there's literally just a multitude of options that we have from just this spot right here. So focus on mastering side control. Just a couple of submission options that we went over tonight, but we'll continue with this series for many weeks. Appreciate it, guys.